Was this predictable to be the 29th strikeout team? Predictable to be 24th in on base? Predictable to be 24th in slugging? Was any of this, Jeff Passan, from your perspective, predictable going into this season?
Brock, if it were predictable, I don't think I would have called Mariners fans spoiled for wanting more offense.
Fair.
And I'm going to be. I am still, by the way, wearing that as gave my mea culpa, but I'm going to wear that one for a long time. I referenced this in a conversation earlier in the week. I was talking with a young person in the business who wanted to know what sorts of things to avoid, and I was like, sometimes you should just, if you have that thing that is in your head that may be just a little too far, acknowledge that and don't say it. Just keep it in your head.
Right.
Let it marinate there. Let it bounce around, and do not offer it out to the world, because you will embarrass yourself and look stupid on account of it.
So, in short, no, this was not foreseeable. You agree?
I did not think the Mariners were going to have the offensive struggles that they did. I thought that their moves honestly, I thought their moves were good. I did. I thought that they were going to be a better team in 2023 than they were in 2022, and they're a pretty darn good team in 2022.
Yeah, we were looking at some of the projections, like Dan Szymborski's projection on Colton Wong this year was like a 4 win player. And obviously, it's been the exact opposite of that. I think he still has a negative WAR. But, it wasn't supposed to go like this. So one of the things Brock brought up yesterday, which I tend to think was very smart, is that they put a lot of pressure on Julio, not just to deliver offensively, but to really kind of find his own way in the world. And there's been a lot of talk about letting Carlos Santana go in the offseason, and not just what he brought from a on-field perspective, but also off the field, maybe more importantly.
No doubt.
The protection.
And when he left, one of the conversations was, well, you could always go trade and get him back. It's not like Pittsburgh's going to be any good. And after a brief stint of being good, they're not. And they've lost, 9 of their last 10. Can you go get Carlos Santana and just bring him back?
I mean, sure, but I don't think that's the solution necessarily at this point. I don't think getting Carlos Santana would turn the Mariners season around. I know it helped. It did more than stabilize them last year. It supercharged them, right? And he had big hits, but more than that, his presence in the clubhouse was undeniably helpful for Julio Rodriguez, and that goes a long way. But Julio's a big boy. Like, he needs to figure this out by himself. And he needs to, I don't think he needs to understand. I think he does understand that he needs to be better. And we've been saying this now for 2.5 months. As Julio Rodriguez goes, so go the Seattle Mariners. And the fact that he's batting .250 with an on-base percentage barely above 300 and a slugging percentage, in the 420 range, it's just not enough.
So why not go get Carlos Santana? It can't have to give up much to get him. And maybe in addition to getting a guy who might hit you a few more home runs like he did last year, especially if you can use him in the right spot, maybe he helps Julio unlock that and we get the Julio that we had last year back again.
Listen, your point is well taken. And I suppose I don't disagree with it fundamentally, but at some point, the mama bird kicks the baby out of the nest, and that baby's got to fly.
But at 22?
And yes, at 22, absolutely. He has willingly taken on the mantle as the fulcrum of the franchise. So I think that, listen, there are lessons, Mike, that you are going to learn at 20, at 22, at 25, at 30, at 35, at 40. And I think Julio Rodriguez is going to be a guy who plays, until he's 40. I still believe in the talent. I still believe in everything about him. But this is the first time he has seen true failure in his professional career. And he's not having, by the way, let me just say this, he's not having a bad season.